It's time for everybody's favorite segment, Facts Are Your Friends. Let's do it. Ah, jeez. I'm not going to comment on how terrible this music is. I'm not going to say a word about it. I'm just going to plow through, Kelly. I got this. A psychology expert shares the 7 toxic signs of highly insecure people and how to deal with them. And this article is grade A dog crap. All right, so here we go. A psychology expert. This is going to be great. That word gives me hemorrhoids now. All right, so March 1st, 2023, it came out. Says, working with difficult personalities can dampen our ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. That's how this article starts. Working with difficult personalities can dampen our ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. I reject this premise wholeheartedly. No one can control my ability to think or make sound judgments unless, number one, they break me. Like, I think it's the purpose of Hell Week with Navy SEALs. They want to, like, no sleep, constant physical exercise, constant people screaming and yelling at you. They want to push you past a point where you have any ability to think. They've taken that from you. You sign up for it, but they take it from you, and then they want to see who you are on the backside of that, right? So someone can break you, or number two, you give it to them. You give it to them. That's it. I've worked with difficult people my whole career. And when I find myself unable to think clearly or make sound decisions, it's because I've got caught up in their drama. I have handed them keys to my life. I've become like Dawson's Creek character and like, ooh, what's happening now? So it's all on me. It's on me. I reject this premise that other people can control my life that way. Now, let's keep going. Then the person tells how great they are and how smart they are and blah, blah, blah. Through my research, I've found that insecure people are often the most difficult to deal with. Agreed. Insecure people are very tough to be in relationship with. And I will also say that most of the time that insecurity comes if I'm their boss because I'm not being clear at all. Or if I work for them, I have created an anxious life, so much so that I owe so much money in student loans. I am so desperate to meet my own insecure ego needs with a job title or a salary number. I've created I have to live in this city, and if I don't live in this city, it's ridiculous, and all my dreams is. So I'm in servitude to this boss. So either I'm a boss working with these folks and I'm not clear, and so they get this insecurity, or I'm insecure because I'm working for an insecure boss, but I don't have another option. I've boxed myself into a corner. And I live in this soap opera. But I'll agree. Working with insecure people is very tough, whether you're their boss or they're your boss, right? Insecure types are extremely risk-averse and unproductive. Some can be downright nasty or display abusive behaviors. Then they should be fired. Ta-da! If somebody is abusive in the workplace or they are downright nasty, as this article says, you shouldn't have a 7-step strategy for dealing with them. They should be fired. They shouldn't work there anymore because they're destructive psychologically, emotionally. You're going to make less money with your business because you have these kind of morons running around. And the whole culture is going to go to hell. It's ridiculous. Or I'm not going to work for you. And I have left thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on the table and walked out the door on a couple of different times throughout my career because I'm not going to work with an insecure boss who is always using me to fill in gaps in their soul. I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it over the long haul. I'm not going to give you a stroke. I'm not going to give you my heart attack. I'm not going to give those things to you. I'll give those to my kids and my wife. I'm not going to give those away. All right. So they say the most common toxic behaviors. He says the most common toxic behaviors are overly concerned about what others think of them, never express a firm opinion, suffer from chronic inability to make decisions, even when choices have little consequence. They frequently try to change the direction of projects or meetings. They put other people down to make themselves look more important. They constantly talk about how busy they are when they actually aren't. To show that they're in demand. They're paranoid meddlers who question your every move. Let's distill some of this down. We are so caught up in I'm talking to my own psychological community now. We're so caught up in our fancy little labels. Let's say what this is. This is somebody who's abusive, somebody who's a liar, and somebody who is displaying highly narcissistic traits. So let's don't say like it's somebody with insecure attachment. No, this is a jerk. It's a jerk. It's a person who's not telling the truth, who is using other human beings as punching bags to make themselves feel tough. And when there's power differentials in a workplace, it's even worse because that person sometimes is trapped, right? So it goes on, how to handle insecure people. As little as possible, I don't handle people. I just don't like that language. It acts like we are all Hannibal Lecter, like we're all playing our own little marionette God game where it's like I'm handling this person, I'm handling this person. I've found out that I was getting handled. Like, hey, we're gonna have a meeting to figure out who's gonna tell John this thing. Dude, it made me insane. Just come tell me. And if I'm a person who can't hear that, I should be fired. I shouldn't work here. And if you're a person who can't tell me, you shouldn't. You should. So all I have to say is this. How to handle people. Take that out. Either you're with people or you aren't with people. Okay? Let that be a way to operate. Now, there's certain things I don't say around certain people. There's certain, I'm just not going to have that conversation. I'm not going to talk theology with that person. I'm not going to talk psychology with this person. It's just not. I'm not going to talk about COVID with this person. It's just, so if you want to call that handling, fine, but I just think that's being wise. But here we go. How to handle insecure people. And again, this article is called a psychology expert shares the 7 toxic signs of highly insecure people and how to deal with them. And this article is worth, if you fold it in half, it will be worth 2 ply. All right. So the first step is how to activate your detective mindset. You know what you shouldn't ever do? Activate your detective mindset. Sherlock Holmes. Turn interacting with insecure people into a learning opportunity. Oh, gosh. All right, some of these I agree with. Actually, I agree with them. I'm going to be honest where I can be honest, and some of them I think they're insane. Number 1, assess the size of the problem. Yes. Are all these interactions bad, or is this person just kind of annoying over here? Fine, just move on with your day. Is this person one of those people that always has to claim credit no matter what? Fine. I'm not going to lose a second of sleep over that. If they're dishonest and they're stealing my ideas and they're putting them forward and they're getting paid for that, whatever, that's a different conversation. But again, I'm just going to go handle that directly. I'm just going to go talk to them directly. So assess the size of the problem. Is this a huge deal or a little deal? That's good. Number 2, identify the root causes of the problem. No, the world does not need any more pseudo-psychologists. We got too many people using Google to diagnose each other and to try to solve clinical issues in the workplace. Stop. I don't even try to do this. I don't have any interest in like, ooh, I wonder if this person's got anxiety right now. This person's really rude. And I'm going to close the door and say, hey, it's not okay for you to talk to me that way. And if this is how we're going to communicate, then let me know because I need to make some decisions then. Not like, ooh, well, I wonder what's the root cause here. I'm not going to do that. Number 3, cultivate genuine compassion. Yes, all of us, always. That person who's insecure is somebody's kid. At one time, they were a little kid. And whatever series of things happened to them over the course of their life has led them here. Is it an excuse? No. Is it a context? Absolutely. Be compassionate. Over-invest in one-on-ones. No. It's reinforcing. Now, every single leader and supervisor should have a one-on-one meeting every week with their staff. Maybe every 2 weeks at the most with their direct reports. There's got to be that human connection there. And unfortunately, it can't be done over email, I don't think. I have not seen it successful. You got to get in a room and meet. You got to go grab coffee together. Those things are all good. But the idea that this person is a little more insecure, so I've got to overinvest there. Number 1, time's finite. Number 2, your team will quickly know that you're favoring this person. Number 3, that person's behavior becomes rewarded psychologically. It becomes a reinforcing context for, oh, if I act like this, I get more time with supervisor. I get more relational needs, right? Number 5, have an exciting outcome in mind. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. That gives me diarrhea on top of the hemorrhoids. Number 6, be transparent in how you communicate. Yes. It goes on to say, and this is true, Insecure people have a tendency to see gaps in arguments. Yes, absolutely. Punch holes in everything. Yes, because it gives them an opportunity to not make a decision. Cool. Clear, clear, clear. I am certain about. This is what I believe. I'm very clear. There is no ambiguity here. This is the way. And most of us don't like that. Most of us don't like to speak like that. We don't like to lead like that. We just say things like, "Hey man, be cool." I don't even know what that means. "Hey man, we start at 10:30. If you are late again, you will be fired. That's clear. And I see Kelly pointing at me right now. That hurts my feelings, Kelly. That makes me insecure. Number 7, fill in the gaps together. Yeah, this shouldn't just be for insecure people. It should be for everybody. Everybody in your organization should have a sense of ownership, from the person sweeping the floors to the person purchasing things to the person selling things to the CEO. Everybody's got ownership in this, how this thing works. And everybody plays a part in the person who's getting served on the back end of this thing. Number 8, work in increments. That's scaffolding. I can see that being positive, especially at the beginning of projects. Absolutely. Number 9, show that you are not a threat. No, because I might be. If you continue to not show insecure issues, if you're not insecure now, but if you lie, if you bully other people, if you constantly distract a meeting and make us where we can't get our work done, you're not going to work here very long. Or I'm not going to work for you very long. I'm going to seek to create a world where I can exit this as soon as possible, because this rubs off on my family life. This rubs off on my personal life. This rubs off on my psychology and my physiology. It rubs off on everything. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to subject myself to that just so I can have some fancy job title or I can have some dollar amount. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not. And I implore you out there listening, don't put up with this. So show that you're not a threat. No, I'm not. I might be a threat. I might ask you to not work here anymore if you work for me. Or I guess that's not threatening. I might just leave, right? This says, pay compliments and express gratitude. I admire what you do, and I'm excited to continue learning from you. No, don't do that. It just reinforces the behavior. It just makes this insecure monster stronger. Not doing it. Here's how. Don't participate. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Kelly, you asked me to tell you what I thought. That's what I think. Is that good?
I think you've been fairly clear. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of ambiguity here.